morning, everybody. So, bit of Scottish music there to get the blood pumping. Get them off. There's only so much you can have. Right, listen up. You have requested to understand a little bit more about labels, whiskey labels. So what I'll do, I will show you a tutorial in Illustrator how to create a whiskey label. What I've got here are some whiskey bottles and gin bottles, some that I've created for the Liverpool Liver building. Can't really see it. There we go. Ta-da! That's Bella. Okay, it's got a bit of a shimmer dust in there. Ooh, shiny, shiny. Some from the QE2. Okay, let's trip around the world. Get a nice bottle of gin from the QE2. Gunpowder gin. All these bottles are fantastic. Okay, very different shapes and sizes. Good bit of research. I absolutely love this label. I absolutely love orange anyway, as you can tell, because I've got an orange ukulele as well, which I'm learning. So, anyway, let's crack on. To create this label, firstly you need to know what size you're working with. I've chosen a bottle, this one here, because I will strip the label off and I will probably put my label on this and photograph it in situ. You can use websites like Graphic Burger to mock up something, but you know what? Let's play with bottles and labels if you can. If you've got a printer. Roughly mark it off. It's 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters square. So I know my label has to be 9 by 9, and the back of the label equal. Okay, are we good to go? Okay. I've done my research about what I want to do. Okay, there we go. So what I've got here is a few notes based on what I found out. I've got a Pinterest board also with lots of pictures and iconography of Scotland, Bladnoch Distillery, for which this project is. It's a 10-year single malt, so I've made that note. There's certain information on your label that you need to have, okay? Type of batch, single malt. Region, the lowlands. Type of whiskey, Scotch whiskey, because you've got Irish whiskey as well. Age, 10. ABV, the percentage, 40. And where it was distilled, Bladnoch. I'm into kind of old labels and grids and graphs, you know, ticket stubs, etc. I collect a load of them, okay, and I've got lots and lots of different ones. So I'm quite into that. And that's the route I want to go down. Through my research also, I've also realised the colour palette, I've got a good idea for it. It's going to be kind of like rustic and heather, okay, that kind of stuff. The typeface I'm going to choose, I've chosen Old Sans Black, okay, it's on a website called Da Font. The reason why I've chosen that is simply because it comes with the family, okay, so you've got kind of uppercase and lowercase and italic, and it kind of works, okay. Just for instance, if you look at that gin bottle, it's the same typeface, different weights, okay, and sizes, so you've got the kind of so it's a family. You don't want to kind of mix up a bottle with about 3 different typefaces. You only want to use 2, okay. Maybe one that's italic and one that's bold. That's one little suggestion. And what I'm going to do is get up my design. Okay, so this is what I've created already, because it's good to know what you've got to start with. Okay, I'll just get me in the top corner, because I know you like to speak to people. Okay, the reason why I'm showing you this first is because it's always hard to see a final picture if you don't know what the picture is going to look like. That is a 9 centimeter square, okay? It's zoomed in at 100%, 150%. I'm not really one for overlapping type and images, but this tends to lend itself to that because I was trying to fit the artwork. So what I'm going to do is show you how to create that document. So if you go to Command N, or let me just give it that, go to File, New, the size of your document should be here. There you go. So mine's 90mm by 90mm. Whatever size you choose, it's up to you. Okay. Then it will appear. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to create another artboard and mimic what I've done on this. Okay. So if I go to Artboards, okay, which is in Window, and you'll find it there. Okay. Click on this little bit here, and I get the same size artboard. So that could be my reverse as well. So you can make as many artboards as you want and play. First thing first, for my initial sketch that I produced, I knew it was going to be a grid. So I'm going to draw a square, a border, just to contain this image. Okay. On my left-hand tool palette, rectangular marquee, or that's in Photoshop, it's called a rectangular tool in Illustrator. I'm not going to go right to the edge. I'm going to just use the edge of the pointers. There you go. And drop it in there like that. You okay with that? So that is a black square. I want it just to be the stroke. So on the left hand side here on the tools palette, just flip this, swap, fill and stroke. There we go. The actual weight, or the line weight, is at 1 point. I don't want it any bigger. If you want it bigger, you can do that or not. Incidentally, if you don't see this bar here, it's called a control panel. Go to Window and you'll find it there. Okay. Next thing you know is I'm going to start making some grids and some lines. So I'm just going to press Command on the keyboard and then click off it. That deselects that box. I'm going to make a box now. So I'm going to go right to the corner with my pointer. And you see, if I do that, it's free. It's a free transform. I'm still selecting the square tool. What I want to do, I'm going to press Shift, okay, with my left hand, and it restrains the proportions. So I'm going to try and mimic what I see over there, okay? There you go. Command, click off it, okay? Now I want to make a long line. So to make a long line, I'll go back to my square tool, keep my finger on the actual tool itself, and right at the bottom is called a line segment tool, okay? I'm going to start it here and just draw a line. If I press Shift, it will jump into place. See? And I'm still at 1 point. Command, click on the page, gets rid. Can you see the grid now starting to appear? Okay, I'm going to start thinking about typeface now. Now, I'm going to look at this bit here, where it says Lowlands Single Malt Scotch Whisky. I've written it up in several ways here, because there are different ways you can do this. You can do it singularly, as it is. The benefits of that, you can actually then do this. You can make the weight, so the size difference. Okay, so if that's, say, what, 34.45, that bottom one is 34.5. Same kind of characters, so it's not going to be dissimilar. But when you get to the word single malt, it's going to be very different. You can then get the word single malt and you can put that up, okay? And that is what I've done here. That's why they're different sizes. I've tried to justify them in a line, okay? So if I go to Command R, okay, you get your rulers up on the side. There you go, you see? There you go. They are justified. Get rid of that there. By the way, when I'm maneuvering around the page, I'm pressing spacebar, okay, and then clicking on the mouse. This one is just the words Lowland Single Malt Scotch Whisky all in one, okay, just typed. It's beneficial, but it's also problematic. You're a graphic designer. You should be creative. You should be writing them out singularly, and that way you can play with them and justify them in some kind of pattern or way. Where it says Scotch Whisky, if I want to justify that and pull that out, I can highlight that and do something called kerning. Kerning is when you break up the S-C-O-T-C-H away from each other, okay? And it looks a little like this. If I go to my character there, and I go to this bit here, VA, the the kerning. Okay. See it? So if I jump, say 250. Problem with that is it ends up looking like this one here. It just looks a bit horrible, to be fair. So I wouldn't suggest that, but I just thought I'd show you anyway. This is what I originally did. So you got different sections: lowlands, single malt, Scotch whisky. Okay, and that is what I've done there. So what I've done is I've just plonked it right in the middle. Okay, justified it right to the sensors there, and that's happy to go. The word 10-year. Okay, so let me just get that in there. So if I copy that by pressing Shift, okay, and I'm going to press Option on my left hand side on my keyboard, move it across, I can put it there. And you can see straight away that my box isn't identical. Okay. Incidentally, I'll just show you this. I'm going to zoom in. I'll just move these out of the way. If I get the word single malt, where do I put it? Do I put it up close? Do I have it further down? What I tend to do is I will move it so that blue line is resting on the words above. Okay. Copy the copy above. There we go. Okay. It's a very basic tutorial, and in some way it'll help you. Okay. If you want to make them all lined up, what you can do is get yourself a ruler, guide. Oh, let me just go to view and put my guides up. Okay, show guides. There you go, there's one there. So single, you could try and get it as close as you can. Okay. The weight of the type, the way it's been created, it does jump off slightly. If I get another ruler, guide. Okay, there you go. You can press Shift and just pull these out slightly. Okay, just help get them straight. Okay, bring this one down, that one up after this. That's okay actually. You okay with that, guys? So good so far? Okay. I'm going to just get 10 years. Now, in my original sketch, I had the word 10. Oh, hello, I think you've changed. Character. Make that auto or 0. There you go. I'm just going to put that there. In my original design, I had the word years going up the side, but it doesn't actually look any good. So I'm going to keep it like that. Years. 10 years. And again, I want it justified so it's all dead center. Okay. Happy days. So good. Excellent. Bladnoch Distillery. Again, I'm just going to copy that across. Oops. I've typed it up and I'll have that. Okay. Bladnoch Distillery. Now, here's the tricky bit. This is their logo. Okay. Now, companies use brand, okay, brand identity. So they've paid a graphic design firm so much money to have this created for them, their own typeface, their own logo, etc. This is an imaginary brief, okay? I want it to be as creative as you want, but I want it to still remain within the Bladnoch kind of arena. So, you know, it's got to be Bladnoch Distillery with the B. I don't know what their typeface is, but I chose this one because it seems to fit for what I want to do, but it's also very similar to what they've actually got. But if we give ourselves too many constraints, boring brief, you know, you undergraduates, play, explore. Okay, I've already got this logo. I'm going to go and get it from a file that I've made on the desktop called Bladnoch. File open. Nope, just got back. So let's try that again. So what I've done is I've brought in the Bladnoch logo, which I got off the internet. Okay, let's move this page down, make it slightly smaller. There we go. What I've done, I've brought it in from the internet. What I want to do, because it's very pixely, it's not great, I'm going to live trace that. Okay, so because it is selected, if I go to image trace there you go, it's created a vector, and because it was quite a simple black and white image, it didn't distort it too differently to what the original picture looks like. Right, what I'm going to do, while it's selected, I'm going to click on expand. Okay, then just press command and click off the page so nothing's selected, and then go to your second arrow tool. It's called a direct selection. Okay, click on the white and press delete. Yay! Click on the white, press delete. Click on the white, press delete, because I don't want it. I'm going to put this over here. Okay, I'm just going to resize it. Okay, and I think I want it to be about there. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask this off. Okay, and I want to cut out the outside of it away. Okay, and one way of doing that is masking. Okay, so that's what I'll show you right now. Okay, so if I get this square, I want it to mask against that shape. Okay, the left side of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to copy. Okay, edit. I'm going to paste in place. Paste in place will put it a copy of what I've just done right in the same place. It is there. While that's selected, press shift, click on the B. Okay, now we're going to use a thing called the Pathfinder Tool. Okay, and you find that in Window. It's called a Pathfinder. There he is. And then what I want to use is crop. Play with each one of these and see what happens. Okay, but for this it's crop. There we go. Just going to click off it. Okay, you're wondering what's going on. You can't see the word Black Knock Distillery, etc. Well, I'm going to change the colour of this. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go to Swatches, okay, and you'll find Swatches in Window, and it's just at the bottom there. Swatches. I've made a colour palette here based on kind of heather, lowland colours, nature, etc. What you should do is go to this little hamburger, go to Open Swatch Library, and I went to nature for me. I think I went to foliage. Okay, maybe it didn't. But the point is, you find your neutral. It was neutral. I went to neutral. I chose these four colours here. What I did is I dragged these and put them into the Swatches palette. As you can see, just fill it in, and that way, it's a good go-to, very quick. So, click on the B, and I'm going to choose a heather colour. Oops, excuse me a minute. It's because I haven't got the direct selection tool selected. There you go, B. Happy days. It's still in front of that type. You could knock down the opacity if you wanted, so you can make it translucent, but I want it as a bold colour. So I'm going to right click, go to Arrange, and Centre Back. Why don't you send them to back? Give me a sec. Might be easier if I bring the type forward. Bring it to the front. Yeah. Okay. Now, I thought that B would be mirrored quite nicely with another colour on the page, okay? And that's why here, where it's 10 years, I made that the same kind of heather colour. So I'm just going to move this 10 years. There you go. Been a bit of a naughty boy, to be fair. I have not been using layers. Oh, shock horror. Right click, centre back. There you go. Yeah. You're wondering, why isn't he using layers? Well, Illustrator, you can kind of get away with it. It's a bit of a touch point. Not too many people are keen on it. I would normally use layers, to be fair. I'd have one for the typography, one for the images, etc. But because it's very simple, I'm just clicking away. Okay, bad habits. Sorry. Click on that. Press Shift. Click on the years, and I'm going to choose another colour. Don't really like that. It's a bit too dull. That one's nice. It's like a grey. That one's lighter, and that's what I've chosen here. So if that's there, what I can do is put in a box behind it, and then send it to back and colour that in. Okay. So what else do we need? Well, we need this little design here. I put that in because I had space, and it was off the internet. It was just a vector, to be fair. I typed in thistle vector. There's a really cool website called Brush Easy. You can go on that and go to Photoshop brushes, and you get these really cool like brushes of foliage and heather. Some you have to pay for, some are free, and it's not bad. But just be aware, it does actually take up a lot of memory up on your machine. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that across there, and I've chosen it to be the same colour as the heather. So it's kind of leaning to the left. If I right click and go to transform, I could reflect and press enter, and I could have it that way. So it kind of blends in, the bees looking down into the heather, the thistle, etc. Okay, I think I'm actually good to go. I'm just going to click on that and just move it down slightly. There you go. We need the 40 because that's legal. Ooh, look at that. Where do I put it? Where do I put it? Where do I put it? Put it up there. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. Okay, for now. And that's it. That is my label. If I want to make the back of the label, what I could do is press Artboard, create a new one, and I could start on the back. And the back might mirror the same layout. It might be a box, and you might just put some legal information on there. Okay. Bit of spiel about where it's from. Bladnoch, the history of Bladnoch. Boom, right into it. What I'll do, I'm just going to clear these guides. Okay. So if I go to View, go to Guides, and just clear them. I don't need them anymore. What I'll do is I'll create a square shape to go behind this. Okay, it's blank as you can see, but I'm going to choose that heather, what is it? It's like a stone colour or something. Okay, I'm going to right click and go to Arrange and Send to Back. There we go. Happy days. Hope that helps. A basic kind of run through about how to create a label. It's all about knowing what you're going to initially start with. A sketch, few doodles. I've not scanned any artwork in and traced over the top. I've just kind of got this really simple grid going on. Okay, I hope that helps. In the next tutorial, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually transfer this into Photoshop and use some textures and layers. Incidentally, what I've also done for you, and you'll have them, I've got these paper textures. So if you want, you can use these in your artwork. Okay. Oops. Okay. You can use these, and you can place them over your artwork and send it to back. Okay. Or if you wanted, watch this. I'll just put it there. Press opacity. Go to transparency. And you see this transparency box where it says normal. Watch this. Press multiply. There you go. See that? Makes it look like it's on kind of a butcher's paper. Really nice texture. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! What do you think? Good? Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, there's a note as well. When you are saving your work in this format, this is what you need to do. Because we've taken the texture off the internet or from another area of my Mac, what I'm going to do is go to Window and go to Links, and you get a box up. There he is. See him? What you need to do with links is you need to click on it, press the hamburger, and go to Embed Image. Okay, press OK. That image is now linked to this document, so I can open it somewhere else and it'll actually have the artwork with it. Okay. To save this document, go to Save As. I'm going to call it Bladnock Front Label. Put it in my folder called Bladnock, where all the other files are. Save it as an Illustrator file, and then when you've done that, save it as a PDF as well. Okay, it's just good to have it in 2 different formats. As a PDF, you can then send it through the internet, okay, to a recipient, and they can open it, because everyone should be able to open PDFs, whereas Illustrator you won't be able to if you haven't got Illustrator. So I could actually open a PDF on my phone from an email and go, oh yeah, it's a pretty cool design, nice one, Stacey. Okay, or say, sorry Nadine, I can't open it, it's in Illustrator. So just so you know, okay. What I'm going to do is transfer it over to Photoshop. I want to use a texture action from a website called True Grit Textures. It's called Atomica, and what it does, it mimics a mid-century print process. Okay, the days of old, when there would have been colour plates and there would have been a red plop, yellow bam. Okay, a key colour like a darker tone like black, bang. So therefore, sometimes the colours misregistered and would overlap. So if you had an orange and a yellow, okay, they make a red. So that, you know, if you wanted to keep your colour cost down, you literally overlap them on purpose to create third colours, etc. If that kind of makes sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take each one of these layers, this kind of purple heather looking colour, okay, there you go, press and shift, whoops, press and shift, I'm just going to take that, that and that, okay, press copy, go to Photoshop, and I've made the document anyway, it's 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters, and just paste it on it. Okay, all you do is just go paste, and what you do is you then build up the artwork. You'll paste it again and you'll just get the black, you paste it again and you'll just get the other colour. Okay, and so forth. What I'm going to do, because I understand how this process works, that 10, if I print that colour on that yellow, on that purple colour, it's not going to work for me. So what I'm going to do is cut out that 10 in that colour, if that makes sense. Let me just show you. I'm going to do it very quickly, okay? Oh, yeah, okay. I'll show you what them colour palettes are in a minute. So if I click on the layer, that one, press Command, click on the actual thing, it selected it for me. What I can do now is go to that layer, which is the purple, and press delete. I have now deleted it, so there's a hole in it, okay? You can just see it. If I just get rid of these layers, see? Kind of makes sense? It will in a minute. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get up my colour palette, and these are the colours. I've put a black stroke around them so you can actually see them, okay? But that's the colours that I'm going to work with, okay? Don't worry, I won't be working with them, I'll delete them in a minute. So the first action I'm going to do is the background. So I'm going to click on the background. These are called actions. If you go to True Grit, there are some free ones, and I'll show you how to do that later on. Okay, press play. I'm going to take that colour palette, press OK, and there we go. Can you see the change? It's kind of made it a little bit mottled. Okay, it'll all come apparent with this next one. Click on the purple layer, press play, press OK. I'm going to use my pipette and choose that colour. Can you see why they're there now? Yeah, I'd have to try and find them here or put in the code. Hey, now we're talking. Okay. Bladnoch. That's black. I'm just going to choose literally blacker than black, right down there, all the zeros. And there it is. I was actually going to put a number 10 in there, but this colour here is showing through, so I don't need to actually put a colour in. Let me get rid of the swatches. So what we've got, guys, is a mid-century print technique digital label. Okay. Oh, you can hear the kids. What they're up to. Okay, you alright with that? In the days when they used to just print mass production, I'm happy with that. In fact, that might be the one I use. Okay? Good show. Good show.